Hi, this is Mike Murphy with International Cancer Cures, and we're here in Las Vegas today with Christina. How are you today, Christina?
I'm good. How are you, Mike?
Great, thank you.
Good.
So thank you for coming here today and
Absolutely. It's my
sharing
pleasure.
your story with us. So tell me, when was your diagnosis and what was the diagnosis?
My diagnosis was in April of 2016. It started in November of 2015 with swelling on my right side, and my diagnosis was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And so your swelling was on the right side, so did you feel weak? Or
I didn't feel anything. I just had extreme inflammation on my right side from the lower base of my neck, and I figured I injured myself and I needed surgery for a pulled muscle from working out. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor was going through my symptoms and everything and told me she thought it could be cancer related. So she sent me to get a CT scan and mentioned the words cancer.
Wow. You're extremely young. Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I just turned 30 this year.
So tell me, what happened after that?
After that, it was a series of testing. It was one place to another place. It was, okay, you have to have a CT, now you have to have a PET scan. They couldn't do the PET scan because I was actually allergic to the fluid that you take for the PET scan. And then we skipped that and went to a different doctor, and they sent me for a fine needle biopsy. The biopsy came back unknown and uncommon, and at that point I was sent to a different oncologist, and that oncologist sent me for a needle or a surgery biopsy at that point. So then I waited because my oncologist and my surgeon were on two different pages, and I left the office crying because they were two separate things. So that was the next step until I found holistic care.
Wow. So when you say they were on two different pages, what does that mean?
The surgeon said that it was going to be a 9-inch incision in my neck from here to here. And that's what the surgeon said. My oncologist said it would only be a 2-inch incision.
I see.
And I didn't understand why my oncologist, as my referring doctor, and my surgeon were on two different pages. So it made me really question what they were doing.
I see. And so what treatment plan did you go with?
I actually refused to do chemotherapy because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do a spinal tap that day. Wow. And they wanted to start me on chemo within 2 weeks. So I left that appointment really distraught and frustrated, and I was worried. I didn't know what to do. So I called my girlfriend crying my eyes out. She told me about her holistic doctor, and I should just go while I'm waiting for results and waiting for answers and waiting to find a doctor. So I started seeing holistic doctor, and within the first week of seeing him, half my swelling went away from vitamins, nutrients, and minerals.
Wow. Was it IVs or?
No IVs, it was all just vitamins, nutrients. It was standard processed stuff, and just general nutrition.
So how long ago was that when the swelling went down?
It went down, I started seeing him in February, and by March it had went down halfway.
And we're in December, almost first of the year, January. And how's your health now?
I have great energy now. I've done vitamin C treatments. I've done diet, full vegan diet. I also do nutrients every day and just keep a really strict diet, work out every day. So I've had enough energy to work out and live my life, and I try not to give cancer the power that it wants.
Awesome. When you say vitamin C, did you do any sort of infusion? Or
I did. I did the vitamin C infusion. They did the IV in my arm for an hour every day for 5 days.
Okay.
And I'll do that every 3 months for a year.
Okay, great. And are you doing anything for your emotional well-being or your psychic well-being?
I actually just started a journal, just logging how I feel every day and what's new and what I've read and discovered. So that's been really therapeutic for me. And while I was diagnosed, a girlfriend of mine was diagnosed, so we kind of leaned on each other the entire time. So that was amazing.
Same diagnosis? Or?
Different diagnosis. She was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I see. And so you're young, you had an early diagnosis of cancer, and you chose not to do chemotherapy. Did that take a certain amount of courage or research, or how did you come to that?
It was both courage and research, and it was also the way they explained it, and it was so barbaric to me. To me, it was losing quality of life. It was waking up every day, throwing up, losing my hair, not being able to function, and everything that comes after chemo. So that really scared me into doing it. And since I had started holistic care and it started to work, I was like, why would I do this? Like, why would I poison myself when my body's sick? What's the point?
Right, right. So you're naturopath doctors. So how do they measure your health going forward? Is it a blood test or a marker or
We
anything?
do blood test every 3 months. It hasn't shown in my blood at all one time.
Wow.
And then we'll probably end up having to do a PET scan or CT or MRI after a few months.
I see. Wow, that's quite a story. So let me ask you, Christina, International Cancer Cures is really a vehicle for people that just heard today. Let's say someone just got home tonight and found out that they had Hodgkin's lymphoma. Based on your experience, strength, and hope, what would you want to share or say to them?
I would definitely tell them to do research and weigh out their options and just love yourself through it. It's a really, really hard thing to hear. And I'm getting like upset about it now, but
okay.
It's a really hard thing to hear, and it's really hard to just sit there and not know and not understand what's really happening and not be explained everything. So my choice was, I want to wake up every day. I want to be able to go to the gym. I want to play with my nephew. So that's what made my choice.
And what about emotional support? Did you have any emotional support or groups? Or
Not
anything
at
like
first. At first it was kind of tough for everybody. They didn't really know how to accept it. But once you learn how to accept it yourself, I feel like it's a lot easier.
So what advice would you have for me as somebody that's going to be a caretaker for somebody that's newly diagnosed? What advice would you have for us that don't have the diagnosis but want to support you?
I definitely would say patience and just be a friend, just be personal and just be who you are and how you would treat everyone else. Because at the end of the day, if you treat somebody as if they're sick, to me, they're only going to get sicker. So I think that's definitely a big thing for all of it, is to treat somebody like you would treat anyone else. Treat me like you would before I was diagnosed, like it never even happened.
Wow. Well, you're a courageous woman. You're an
Thank
inspiration. Thank you for taking the time to share your story with us and your experience, strength, and hope. And we'll be praying for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right.